I coordinated the emergency department response.
Reverend Andy Dovey, I'm the ecumenical chaplain.
I was working with the families of the people who were involved.
We're supporting the families of the bereaved.
I was logging all the staff in who was working on the floor.
So I was logging for the acute consultant who was leading the floor for A&E. I was in the control centre, liaising between control centre and A&E.
I was collecting the names of the patients that we've had through the departments and where they've gone to after they've been discharged.
I was taking the names of the walking wounded and outpatients.
Attended an A&E X-ray and organised the patients coming through.
X-ray patients. I'm a radiographer.
I helped discharging patients from A&E.
We helped discharge them home, and I had community teams ready to take them home, so it all went smoothly.
So we had to organise everything, all the paperwork, and organise the patients to be booked in so they could be seen straight away.
I was with the Deputy Director of Nursing. We were involved with the families and the police.
Discharge class on the day, so discharged the patients home.
And just doing what was ever required admin-wise and logging the patients onto the system and just helping out generally wherever in accident and emergency.
And I helped run the major incident from the nursing point of view and as a matron role in the main ED.
It was a busy day. We were mainly, my colleague and my Dr. Ash were the key medical consultants on the shop floor, basically helping with the flow, so taking the pressure off the A&E department, trying to pull medical patients to our unit.
It was just really good to be part of a team that worked very cohesively to make sure that patients got what they wanted, make sure the safety was maintained throughout, and make sure that the trust performed and delivered for Croydon what Croydon needed.
Oh, I helped run Silver Command.
I was bronze in ED. I was receiving the injured patients in A&E.
PTD.
I'm transit porter.
Healthcare assistant in theatres, main theatres.
I was in the discharge lounge, seeing patients, making sure they were safe for discharge and reuniting them with relatives.
Theatre nurse. I'm a theatre practitioner.
Intubated the patient on anaesthetics. We were the one who intubated her.
I was helping in the emergency theatre.
I was a practice theatre in Theatre 6 and I was helping the patient.
I was one of the orderlies in theatre, coordinating the movement of patients from A&E up to theatre and out.
Matron on AMU and I was ensuring that there was flow between ED and AMU.
I was the duty intensive care consultant.
Theatre nurse, and on that day I was helping in theatres on the seaport list.
Theatres on the day.
Switchboard.
We put out the major incident on that day. That day I was in theatres ready to help patients.
So we managed the lady that came into theatre, sorted her out and took her to George's. Amy took her.
So we gave her a general anaesthetic, we transferred her over to St George's.
And I was coordinating the major trauma response from the Gold Centre to all our clinicians.
On the day, I took lots of calls from the media and also members of the public. I was responsible for also getting statements out to the media and also onto our website and social media channels. And I also worked closely with the London Ambulance Service and British Transport Police as well.
We was transferring patients around the hospital for all the scans, X-ray, and to the wards as well.
We take the patient everywhere the patient wants to go, we take them to go.
So I help the people to the wards.
And then I was looking after people on the observation ward on the weekend who'd come back in having gone home and not been feeling terribly good there as well. Possibly some emotional side effects too. So I was A&E registrar who took the major incident over the phone.
I was called in obviously for the major incident and I was part of the Silver Command in charge of the ED and walk-ins.
Making sure breakfast and every other thing is served to the patient.
And so on the day we set aside an area for the relatives to sit so they found out what was going on with the people that was on the tram because some of them was unsure if they were involved, whether they was involved. So we had to set that apart and then we had to feed the whole teams. So there was loads of them, A&E, the actual team that come in to do the coordination of everything, and then the rest of the extra patients and that come in and all their relatives.
So I was in the control room and I was assigned to the site practitioners and was recording any decisions that they were making.
I was actually at home on my day off. I got called in for the high demand of food that we had to provide.
On the day I provided all the cooked hot food for the patients.
So I was making sure that everyone in the silver control room, the silver control room, was doing their things on time. Making sure the silver commander was calling NHS England with all the updates and making sure she had the correct information at the time.
So we helped prepare the critical care unit to make sure we had empty beds for any seriously ill patients that came through, and we supported theatres to help manage with the help support the anaesthetists with any ill patient.
So I was leading the area in outpatients, which is where we take all those that have been seen in A&E that are fit for discharge. So we were managing that way, attaching them to their families and making sure they were all okay.
So I looked after all the bereaved relatives and all the relatives and matched them up to the families, and obviously it was quite a traumatic and sad day. We were with some of the relatives for 10 hours, and obviously as the day went on it became apparent that some of them had actually lost their relatives, so quite a difficult day.
The response from across the trust was, I think, exceeded everyone's expectations. The way everyone pulled together and worked together under such difficult conditions was nothing short of remarkable. A lot of unsung heroes on the day. At ED, we're on the front line, people expect us to be there, but people like the radiology department performing 12 CT scans in under an hour, the chaplaincy service supporting bereaved and relatives as well as the injured patients themselves, the catering department who came out in force to feed all the staff who'd come in, the staff who came in on their days off as opposed to, you know, doing something far more interesting with their day. It really was remarkable.
Do you know how many staff contributed in some way to the team efforts?
Hundreds. I couldn't be more specific than that. A lot of them I didn't see, a lot of them weren't in the emergency department, and as I say, but you could see from the photograph today that there was clearly, you know, people took great pride in being involved and were very proud of the efforts that they made.